Video on how to burn in the window shapes to the car. So I have three components here. Here's the two components put together. Here's a copy pulled out like this. I have a trace here of the side of the car. And I have a little line there that was helping me find a reference point. So I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to line it up on the car. Actually, this must be a slightly different trace, but it will still work for purposes of demonstration here. Yours will line up better because apparently I've traced this car too many times. So yours is going to line up perfectly. And one important thing with this is that when I moved this component out as a copy, it moved out on the axis. I just grabbed this one back here, moved a copy out on the axis to bring this one out like that. Actually, I'll do it again. Here's this side. I'm going to move a copy out. So I'm looking at the flat side. I'm going to bring it out on the axis and then line these guys up. Unfortunately, this is not the same trace, but okay. So I'm going to line that up. On yours, it should line up perfectly. Okay. Then what I can do is hide this one. And what I'm going to do is edit this and take a piece that's glass and push it out. If it hollows out like it just did, I'm going to hit P-Alt. Hold on, tap the Alt key. And that's going to let this come over and punch into the car. Do the same with this one, P-Alt. Pull this over. Maybe not quite to the middle of the car. All the pieces of glass, P-Alt this one. And P-Alt this one. This is also part of the glass of the rear window. So you can see mine's off a little bit by, I'm going to shift this because again this is not the right trace, but just this for purposes of demonstration. I'm going to lower it a little bit. Let's see if this works. Okay. So basically it's the glass intersecting with the car like that, and all I really need to do is get inside of this component. And when you get inside, yours may contain a group here. I've got a component here, a component here. This is actually ungrouped. I think I'm going to group it. So what lives in the component is this tire component, a copy of that tire component, and this group, all living inside the component. So when I edit this, I get inside the component, and then I go, here's this group, get inside of that. Triple click that, so I get dots and lines, so I know it's editable. And then I'm going to just right click and say intersect faces with model. And that should burn in the lines of the glass part into the car body. So when I hide this, there they are. Now, because it was off, it burned in some other weird lines, but it gave me then this plane, which I can go and paint. And it gave me some lines in there that were not necessary. And this I might have to do a little repair work back here. If I'm editing this thing, I might have to take this line all the way across. Actually, I should really burn in the back windshield to see the shape of that. The way we do that, it's the same process, but this is actually the trace of the half of the front windshield, and it has a line that's my reference point down to the bottom of the car. This is the center line, and that line takes me to the bottom of the car. So when I unhide this, Yeah. Okay, this one is kind of reversed actually. So actually I could do it this way. I could flip this. I'm going to rotate this. Hit Q to rotate, hit the up arrow key. I'm going to do a 180 on this. 180, enter. Okay, so I know that this lines up with the furthest down point of the car. That's my lowest point of the car. Okay, and really, as long as that point lines up with, if this reference line went down to the lowest point of the car, as long as that lines up, that's fine right there. And then really the way the windshield is going to change actually is this. Actually, I'm going to go back and unpaint a little bit of this. That part. That just got the whole thing. Just brought it back to that. Okay, so what's going to happen now is basically the same thing. As long as that lines up, this piece is going to push back, intersect with the car, and then we'll get inside this and get inside this group, and we'll do intersect faces with model, and give it a second because it's processing stuff. And when I hide this, that's a little deceptive because what it really burned in was this curve and this line over here. These two lines were from before. I might even be able to get rid of some of those lines, but this is from it being misaligned before. So that gave me that. That's the shape of the windshield. There we go. It's doing that. And again, that center seam is going to disappear when I light up this plane. Double click it so the plane and the line, the outside edge line gets lit, and we'll hide that. Ooh, it hid some other stuff too. Wait a second. Ooh, it's missing some pieces over here. I think I must have been erasing those lines by accident. I'm going to bring it back to that. Anyway, that did work. You can see it burned in there. I'd be maybe better off hiding those lines than erasing them because I was hitting stuff behind it. So if I edit this now, I should be able to paint. I'll try this again. Back is still intact, yes. Double click this, get inside of this. Get that whole plane selected and its outside edge. There we go. And then the little known SketchUp trick where if you hit E for erase, it's going to erase stuff and blow things up. So if I get in here and edit this, I could tap E for erase but hold down Shift so that it actually erases, it hides the line rather than erasing it. I can just hide that. Yours may line up better because, like I said, my trace was misaligned from, it was a different trace, but I'm hit E for erase, hold down Shift as I do this and drag across these lines. You can do a little cleanup on this. Same thing with the back windshield. Probably it would be that same thing that kind of looked like a flag. It would go down to a reference point on the back and line up kind of with a flag going off to the right. Do a push-pull, let it smash into the back, and that'll create the shape of the back windshield. Because this is messed up. That's it.